one. We went to two different kinds of temples. It's City Mosque and Potosí Temple.
首先喺沙巴市立清真寺，佢係一個伊斯蘭教嘅寺廟，所以入邊都充滿咗伊斯蘭教嘅風格。之後我哋要穿着所有穆斯林嘅服裝，因為佢係唔俾人露出手部同埋腳部，所以我哋就算好熱都要着上呢啲服裝入去參觀。
Secondly, we went to the Potosí Temple. It is the religion of the Buddhism, similar to the Hong Kong Big Buddha, except it is more colorful. Also, I experienced to respect the Buddha there, doing 3 bows with an incense.
喺第三個，我哋參觀咗沙巴嘅基金會大廈，佢係一個圓柱形嘅建築物體，亦都好似一支火箭咁。跟住我哋入邊喺度見到有 auditorium、library 同埋 gallery。
So today was day 2, and basically we started off the morning pretty early, and we went to the Mount Kinabalu. We stopped at a market, we bought some stuff, had some food. We looked around, took a lot of pictures with Mount Kinabalu, which is 4,095 meters tall. It's the most popular destination for Sabah.
So we went to the Botanic Garden today and we were able to see a lot of pretty flowers, and we saw a lot of flowers that we don't usually get to see in Hong Kong. And it was like really green. It was filled with a lot of trees and like there was a lot of different types of flowers. Some were like you could even see some mushrooms. It was really cool there. Yeah.
So after that, we went for a treetop walk, which is basically a walkway which is situated like 30 meters in the sky, which is connected by the tall trees in the rainforest. So we just walked around that. That was really scary, and it was really interesting too. We all had a little jitter. We got a little jittery. Yeah, and it started raining, but it was fine.
Lastly, we went to the butterfly garden where there not only were like a lot of butterflies, but also there were like a lot of them that were stored in boxes and glass jars so that people could learn more about them, and also the ones that are already endangered or deceased, we could have learned more about them without being able to see them.
So yeah, that was day 2.
Day 3! So first we went to the Mari Cultural Village. There are actually 5 tribes there. And it's really interesting because all these tribes used to fight with each other in history. So my favorite tribe was basically the first one. We were able to shoot darts, and luckily I got to shoot the coconut. Felt so amazing. But the first one, it went like bloop. So I had 2 tries. And what I like about this first village as well is the trampoline thing. Basically, these tribes, they would have a little feast, and there's something on top, like a little reward. When you get it, you get a buffalo. So it's trampoline, you jump, and you get it. And so our students got to try some. It's really interesting, but I never got to touch it because I'm really short and I don't know how to jump. I don't know the rhythm. And the other thing I really like about this village is we got henna tattoos. And they're really nice. I like how they did it. I like how they talked to us as well. Made me feel like we're really getting into their culture. And the rest of the other tribes, other villages, we also learned a bunch of other things. We got to try some food, some drinks, and basically that is it for this Mari Cultural Village, which is one of my favorite destinations of this trip.
And then we went to Kota Kinabalu Wetland Park, where we learned how to recycle paper. It was actually very interesting because we know how the environment is getting really worse and how we're slowly killing the earth. So we learned how to recycle this paper. So what we did was we got used paper, we blended it up into paper mache, then we put it into this sort of mold thing in some water, and then later on we took it back out, we evened it out, and we let it dry out, and just like that we made new paper. It was very interesting because, of course we got to know how to protect our own environment. And in fact, this stuff you could do at home if you had the right stuff. We also went round the wetland park. Sadly, it was raining that day, so we didn't really see many wild animals. But it was still interesting to see, all the trees and the mangroves and all that. And that was about it for day 3. Yeah.
Today is day 4 of the Sabah trip. First, we went to the Lokkawi Wildlife Park. It's a park that consists of 2 components, zoological and botanical. This zoo has many different animals like the barking deer, Malayan tiger, and Borneo pygmy elephant. We were able to feed the elephant with carrots, and the special animal that we saw was the proboscis monkey. It has a big nose and their belly is big and white. It was a really fun experience because we got to see many animals that wouldn't be seen anywhere else. And even though it was really hot, we were able to have lots of fun. And we also watched an animal show and we got to touch a snake.
The next place we went to was called a mangrove, where we rode a boat to look for different types of animals, and mostly what we saw were monkeys and some lizards and a snake. After the mangrove, we went to another destination where we got onto another boat to look for fireflies, and it was my first time seeing fireflies, and honestly the fireflies brighten up my night. See what I did there? Overall, our last full day in Sabah was filled with exciting activities and unforgettable experiences.
Hi, and it's day 5 in Sabah, which is also today. And since it's our final day here in Sabah, we went to this place called the Museum of Sabah, where in this museum, it tells exactly everything that you need to know in Sabah, which includes some of tribes, ethnic tribes that still live or used to live in Borneo, and even some unique and endangered tropical animals that live in Sabah, and finally some geographical facts of the whole of Malaysia. And from here, we are not only that we have been able to see it once again throughout all these 5 days, but we also get to know what exactly we learned and summarize the whole thing.
Overall, the whole week has been a lot of fun. Everyone could agree that it's probably the best school trip that we've ever had. Personally, it's my only one, and so far it has been the best trip I've ever done in my life. What we did throughout the whole week was we got exposed to the whole entirety of the west coast of Sabah. Now that's not much, but it really gave me a perspective on how I think people in Hong Kong don't really care much about nature. And here in Sabah, the people here care about nature, and they care so much so that it's part of their national identity. Without it, there is no Sabah. And that was what hit me straight away. Once I saw the botanical gardens, I saw the animals, the monkeys, the apes. I just saw how much we disregard or we take for granted nature and how we simply waste it. And so after this week, I saw how much I have changed and how I see this, and how I have seen, I think, the change to many of my friends who came with me. And I think that's the overall impact of this trip. I guess the spirit, as Mr. Cole has said it, and that's how it changed our outlook towards how we see our place here in Earth. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my dear.